Happiness can be found even in the darkest of time if only one remembers to turn on the light. And to provide us all the hints in order to turn on this light in our lives, this series was initiated, and we certainly believe that it is serving the purpose in the most effective way. जी आया नु मैं अमनदीप कौर ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਡੇ mental health series ਦੇ ਆਖਰੀ event ਵਿੱਚ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ। And today's session on skills and productivity is the last in the line of our mental health series of workshops. So far, we have covered the concerns of self-awareness, peer pressure, and resilience in our lives. Hope you have gained from them. Or if you haven't come across them, you can check them out on Punjabi Chamber of Commerce's YouTube channel or Facebook page. Before beginning, little bit about the chamber. PCC is the non-profit chamber of commerce, and it's dedicated to help Punjabi businesses and professions across the world. It started in 2017, just 4 years before, and we have truly become global with 17 chapters in 5 countries, and we continue to. Our endeavor has been to facilitate network forum with focus on capital and capacity building. Our objective is to create a legacy for the next generation to grow together, build together, and succeed together. And that's what Punjabi community stands for, isn't it? And there is something that is core to our organization, which is to remain non-religious and non-political. We believe in diversity and inclusion. We are funded by donations, and during the first flag of our current campaign, we have raised $100,000. And these funds have been utilized to distribute 100 oxygen concentrators in India, Punjab region. Not only that, we have partnered with Rotary International to set up 2 oxygen plants in Manali and Jalandhar. And most importantly, we have not taken a pause on our fundraising, as it is a task yet to be accomplished. In addition, we provide resources, networking opportunities, group discounts and benefits, advocacy on behalf of our members, and access to informative sessions like this one. And Global Youth Squad is a youth wing of Punjabi Chamber of Commerce with a clear vision to making remarkable history by empowering the future custodians, the young. It is led and managed by enthusiastic and high-spirited youngsters, just like us, and they are trained by Squad itself by providing global networking, mentorship, intern opportunities, and professional training sessions. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to the Dr. Rajeshwari Kumar Datta, who is the Executive Director at PCC. She is an expert on women's justice and law with a doctorate from IIT Delhi. She has led international projects in many Asian countries, and she is an expert in negotiating alliances and building programs. And now Dr. Pooja Vijay Sukhija. She is the woman behind Global Youth Squad. Dr. Pooja is an academic advisor and platform skills trainer. She has made a difference by bridging the academic industry gap through soft skill training and placement of youth. She is a gold medalist with 2 doctorates and a founding director of NGO Oasis. Finally, the speaker of the day, Sandeep Saib. She is a leading mental health advocate, philanthropist, and a public speaker. She is a co-director of Happy Heads, a mental health NGO. She has devoted many years of her life in advocating and in supporting those with the mental health problems. Moreover, she has a wide experience in education and environment sector, as well as in legal and marketing sector. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Amandeep, and thank you to Punjabi Chamber of Commerce. Sat Sri Akal, mera naam hai Sandeep Saib, and I'm here to share lovely and great tips around skills and productivity, the last in the mental health workshop series. Thank you so much for having me, and it's an honor and a pleasure. So a little bit about me before we get into the main workshop. I am here from London, UK. So as you can tell, my accent's slightly different. And I do apologize if some things are not clear. And I'll try my best to speak Punjabi and Hindi. It's not my forte, but I'll try my best. And before I introduce myself, also, it will be great to see your lovely faces. We want to, as Robindeep mentioned, we want to keep this workshop interactive as possible. I want to hear from you. We want to hear from you and want you to benefit as much as possible. And as it's the last one, we want to go out with a bang. So it will be great to see your lovely faces. So about me, so I'm Sandeep Saib. Professionally, I've been working as in the marketing industry for over a decade, and I'm currently working for a law firm at the moment for 6.5 years now to 7 years. So that's my professional life, and my personal life is mental health advocacy work. So what that means, in a nutshell, is challenging stigma and discrimination around mental health, changing people's mindsets around mental illness. We all know about physical illness. We all know and comfortable in sharing whether we've got cuts, bruises, you know, problems with our body. But when it comes to mental health up there, we don't speak about it. It's unspoken of. It's still seen as a taboo and heavily stigmatized, especially in our ethnic minority groups with people of color. They get complex mental health issues. So we're here today, or collectively, Punjabi Chamber of Commerce is here today to put on the 4th series around skills and productivity to help you. And let's crack on. So what I want to, so the basis of this overall workshop is how it's going to be, is I'll provide you with a bit of objectives of the workshop, so what we want to achieve in this session for an hour. You got me for an hour. You're not going to hear me for all the time. So I want to hear from you, and we've got a breakout session coming up. So yeah, we'll talk about the objectives of the webinar, the workshop. What does skills and productivity actually mean? And provide examples. I'll then move on to providing you guys with tips and advice so you can take home and use and put into action. And then, like I mentioned, we'll go into an interactive breakout activity for 10 minutes. And then when you come out the session, we'll have a discussion around what you guys chatted about in the breakout session around SMART goals. And that will be the focus. And I'll share that in a bit more depth in a few minutes. And then we'll end with questions and answers, really, and have your questions answered for the last 10 minutes. So yes, the objectives for this session is number 1, understand how to manage and maximize your skills and productivity levels. Number 2 is structure your work and life effectively for optimal productivity to meet your goals. And whether that's business, whether that's life. Number 3 is develop skills to sustain energy needed to be productive. And the last one is useful tips and advice to help you. So let's crack on. What does skills mean? What do we mean by the word skills? Now, skills, or skill in a nutshell, because people can have more than one, is an expertise or talent needed and used in order to do a job or a task well. It requires 3 things. It requires time, it requires energy, and it requires attention. And we know what we mean by skills because we're doing it. We know we do it without thinking. But with any skill, it can be learnt, and it's improving. You're always improving on it. It can be developed and also transferable. And what I mean by transferable skills is you can have specific skills where you can use it in multiple environments, in multiple contexts. So you can use it within work, you can use it within life, and it's skills such as communication and so forth. Those are the transferable skills that you can use in different aspects of your life forever. And there is also a difference between domain general skills versus domain specific skills. And what that means, domain general is just general skills that we have. So communication, time management, organization. So these are general ones versus domain-specific skills. So these are more specific to the actual job that you're doing. So manual labor, manual handling. It could be analytical skills for a particular maths degree or a accounting job. So these are more specific skills aligned to what you are trying to achieve. So I'm just going to share my screen. So bear with me. Let's share. Here are, if I move my screen, right. So we talked about skills and what it means. Now we're going to move on to examples of skills, and this is where I would like to hear from you in a bit. Now there are two types of skills. There are job skills and there are life skills. So to name a few, here are some examples of job skills that you might be aware of and that you might be using already or have learned. These are leadership and management skills, professionalism, organizational skills, team building skills, analytical skills, and life skills, studying, driving, getting ready for work, painting a room, for example, cleaning and washing, and so forth, and sports. So there are a few examples there, football and cricket. I know India loves cricket, so you guys, yeah, can advocate for that. So these are types of skills, and it could be split into those two categories. I'd like to ask you all a question now. Name a skill or skills that you have learned. And I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I'd love to hear from you. Any skill that you have learned, you can say it verbally if you want to take yourselves off mute, or feel free to drop your skills in the chat, as Romandeep has kindly put in.
A skill which I have got, I am a very punctual person. I'm always at time, always.
Oh, that's a great skill, Jagdar. Being punctual, it becomes a force of habit, and it's part of your routine, and you get so used to it. Punctuality is key. You do not want to be late. I get anxiety if I get late, if I be late. That's a really good skill, Jagdar. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else have a skill that they've learned, perhaps during this pandemic? Could it be cookery skills? Could it be driving? Could it be team building, communication, now that we're all online? Let's hear from you.
I'm also a professional in driving.
Ah, wow. How long for?
Right now I have turned 18 years, but I haven't got a license, but I know how to drive vehicles.
Ah, that's really, really good. Very good skill. Very good skill to get around India, to get around in the UK. And that's obviously a car noise there. It's a perfect timing. How about everybody else? Any other skills that you've learned?
And people are writing in the chat box.
Ah, I've just looking in the chat. Robandeep, team building. Priyanka, communication. Anirudh, driving as well, learned during the pandemic. Wow. I hope that was okay to learn during the pandemic. That's a great skill. And it's even more of a skill to learn during this pandemic and dealing with that, isn't it? I guess all of us can resonate with the pandemic and the skills we've learned through that. Badminton player, Barbie, lovely. That's really good. Really, really good. 3 years. Wow. I need to learn from you. That's really great. Thank you so much, everybody, for sharing. That's really, really good. Really, really good. So I'm going to move now to productivity. What does productivity mean? What do I mean by that? And what do people mean when they say productivity? In a nutshell, productivity means a way to measure efficiency of production of goods and services So in the simplest way possible, we can measure productivity through input and output. So what that means is what we put in, so the labor, the effort we put in to do a particular task, the input, leads to the output, so the capital, the end goal, the end objective. So whether that's a monetary goal there, whether it's financial, whatever it is, it leads to something. So there's this strong correlation and relationship with what you put in, you will get out. So that's what productivity means. The more you put in, the more you'll get out. The less you put in, the less you'll get out. So it's an input and output relationship, a very strong relationship. So that's what productivity means. Similar to skills, it requires time, energy, and attention. And some can say productivity is also a skill in itself. It is, isn't it? To be productive is a very good skill. So that's what productivity means. And I'm going to share my screen again because these are now useful tips and advice for you guys. And this is recorded so you can always watch back on these tips and advice. Now, these tips are going to be very useful for you. So I'm just going to share my screen again. And I'm going to share, do it in full screen. Some tips and advice. So the first tip, set and evaluate SMART realistic goals. And we'll move into what SMART goals even mean. This will be your breakout activity that you will move into shortly. But do set out realistic goals in life. It gives you clarity, it gives you focus, and it gives you a motivator. It acts as a motivator for you in life. So start to set goals using the SMART anagram. We'll move into that shortly. The next tip, create a daily schedule or routine. Have a to-do list to support that. It's a great way to prioritize your day. What do you want to achieve? What do you want to set out? Do that as soon as you get up in the morning or before you go to bed to get ready for the day ahead. Remember to please stick to it. Be disciplined. Stick to your daily schedule. It's a way of being proactive, not reactive. And what I mean by that is by having a routine, you are doing something about it. You are achieving. You are moving your day along, aligned to your overall routine that you've set out from the get-go. So make sure that you are proactive using that and you stick by it. I've listed a couple of examples there of resources out there, free resources on Google and many apps. So things like Buffer, Asana, Canva, and Smartsheets, and so many phone apps out there. I've done a Google and looked at apps yesterday. So many tools out there to create daily schedules. So please use that and invest your time in that. Next tip, use scheduling tools. Now, aligned to our daily routine and our schedule that we have, sometimes it's hard to manage that to a certain degree. You know, you've written down your to-do list, you've written down what you want to do. You know, I want to sort of get up, I want to do this work, I want to do that. But there are tools out there to help you schedule in meetings, for example, appointments. And to do that, there are many resources, Doodle, Candelier, HubSpot meetings, Calendar Hero, and again, many, many apps out there. Next tip, follow the 2-minute rule. And what I mean by this is when we have a to-do list, it gets a bit daunting. You're listing everything that you want to do and you're trying to prioritize it. The best way to thinking about what you want to do first and what you want to achieve is thinking about what task can I do in less than 2 minutes or 2 minutes exactly. What is quick and simple and straightforward to do out of the things that I've listed, and to do it immediately. Do those simple, straightforward tasks that take less than 2 minutes immediately. That is a 2-minute rule. That will help you to tackle those quick and easy tasks and get them off the list, and you can cross them out happily. I love lists. I think everybody loves lists out there. And that energy to just cross things out, it gives you so much motivation to move on and to do and handle the next tasks. So follow that. I would also suggest, when you are doing activities and things in life, when it's too much for you, make sure that you don't multitask or overburden yourself with many tasks at one point. What I mean by that is commit yourself to a single task, achieve it, and then move on. Don't have 5 or 6 tasks. Think of quality rather than quantity. Don't overburn yourself. In that way, you can focus on each one, bite-sized chunks, take your time and develop it, complete it, and then move on. The next task, take skills and productivity quizzes online. There are so many out there, apps online. Take quizzes. It's a great way to evaluate yourself. How skillful are you? What are the areas of improvement that you need to work on? What are you already good at? Because sometimes we forget that. We forget the things that we are good at and the strengths that we have and what we bring to the table. Productivity is the same. There are so many quizzes out there to help you and develop you and find the gaps of improvement. And it's great to build your overall personal development as well. I would definitely suggest take regular scheduled breaks. I'm a victim of that. I don't take enough breaks. And as this is a mental health workshop, self-care is important. So please make sure you block out, whether it's on a calendar or whether it's on your phone or whether it's part of your daily routine schedule, make sure you take scheduled breaks and look after yourself. That helps with overall mental health and well-being. That also helps maintain your concentration and performance levels. So you are working at your optimum level on a daily basis as much as you can. So please do advocate to take breaks. I can't stress that enough. The next tip is, let me minimize that. The next tip is, do that way. Yes, take advantage of your commute. Now, what I mean by that is when we are traveling on trains, taxis, cars, rickshaws, whatever it is, use that time to catch up on work, read up on notes, add something to your diary, check your phone to-do list. Take advantage of that time as much as you can. It's that golden time for you to think about your day, readjust, reevaluate. The next tip there, turn off notifications and minimize interruptions. Turn off your phone, put it on silent, tuck it away somewhere. Turn off your notifications of your personal apps on computers. Try and be in a space where you are comfortable, where you are relaxed, and where you minimize interruptions. We've got many, so try and minimize that as much as you can. You're in control of it. The next tip I would say here is be disciplined and self-assertive to say no. Again, I'm a victim of that. I'm always a yes person. Any work, anything in life, yes, ma'am, I'll do this. I'll be happy to do this. I want to do this. And you volunteer yourself to do so many things and tasks. Am I right? And sometimes, if not most of the time, it's so hard to just say, no, ma'am, I don't have time for that. I can't do that. Or somebody else can do it in my place. So try and be self-disciplined. Try and be self-assertive and try and say no to things. There's no weakness in saying no. You're just managing your time effectively. And that's a skill in itself, to be self-assertive and to be disciplined. So please try and say no to things, and it's no sign of weakness to do that. The next one I will say is test yourself by teaching your learnings to others. Become a mentor. So all that you're learning today, all that you've learned in the past, and so much more that you're learning, and bearing in mind we're always learning, share it. Share it with others. Share it with other students. Share it with other colleagues. Share it with your mentors. Become a mentor in your own learning. In that way, you feel much more self-empowered and you're helping others. And that's beautiful. So please do teach others, share your learning and become advocates. The last two I've put on here is make sure, and this could be something that you can add into your daily schedule, have a reward waiting for you. Always reward yourself. Remember what I discussed about productivity, the input and the output. What you put in, you will get out. Labor versus capital. But there's no mention of a reward in productivity. So make sure that you reward yourself, whether it's a cup of jar, whether it's a walk outside, whether it's organizing a party, whatever it is. Do something that you enjoy and look after yourself and reward yourself and tap yourself on the back and say, well done. Always try and pat yourself on the back and reward yourself. So that's a great way of having something to look forward to, an incentive to see you through the task or tasks. So make sure you reward yourself. And the last one I've put on here is, above all, reflect and improve on all of the above. Improve on yourself. Continue to be the best self that you could be. Thank you. So I am now going to explain the breakout task that I've got for yourselves. Now, I've mentioned the SMART goals. So I want you guys to get SMART. So what I want you to do is to create a work or life SMART goal that you, and only you, and it's personal to you, that you would like to accomplish this year. And remember to make it personal and to always evaluate your goals. So what does SMART mean? It's an acronym. SMART is a great way to remember. S, standing for specific. So when you are creating a goal, remember to define your goal in as much detail as possible. Think about what is the objective, who is responsible for that goal, where and when. So I put an example here on the far right-hand side. I put down here, I am going to focus on boosting my overall grade in a marketing module of my business degree. That is my specific goal. And the great thing about this SMART goal is you add to that statement now. So M is measurable. So now I have defined my goal. I need to track my goal. I need to track the outcome and the progress. An example there to the right, I've put down here, I am going to study every day and meet with my tutor on Wednesday to prepare for the next month's exam. Now I've defined my goal of my marketing module, and now I begin to set goals in terms of measuring that. A, action. It could also be agreed and achievable. So now we move on to what will you do, only you, to achieve your goal? What are you going to be doing? How are you going to be doing that? I've put down there as an example, I want to achieve a good grade in my marketing module. I'm going to do that by creating a revision timetable and arranging individual and group revision sessions over the coming weeks. R, realistic. Now, how realistic is your goal? Is it achievable? Is it results-based? Is it real? And does it stand by your morals and values? Example there to the right. I want to get a better grade on my marketing module to boost my overall mark on my degree. I'm certain about that. I've put down I want to. The last one is T, time orientated. With your goal, how long will it take to complete? Bearing in mind, there's always a start and an end with a goal before you move on to the next. So what is your time period for this goal? Is it a month? Is it a year? Is it 2 years? What is that? I've put down here, I'm going to start preparing the revision timetable and sessions this Friday. These are just examples, by the way. So that obviously this Friday will be today. So that's what SMART is. I've created a goal there. I've built on it, going through the SMART acronym, as you can see. And it's personal to me by adding things like I am, and adding personal affirmations and statements and strong statements such as I am going to, I will be, I want to. Remember that. Now it's over to you guys. We're going to go now into the breakout sessions for 10 minutes, and each breakout room will have a moderator, and it is your time to set out a SMART goal. Only one that I want you to set out. Have it personal to you. And when we come back, I'd love to hear from you guys, and let's discuss about these SMART goals. I'm going to stop sharing now. And I believe Jinya will put you all into the breakout rooms, and she'll see you in about 10 minutes. So have a paper and pen handy, and I'll see you shortly.
Yeah, I have opened the breakout rooms, and rooms have been also assigned to you. You can move to your breakout rooms.
Thank you, Jinya.
You're welcome.
See you all soon, very soon. Good to have you back. If anybody wants to share it and kick us off, sharing their SMART goal.
Okay, ma'am. So my SMART goal is that I want to see myself in the future as holding a tourism agency.
Sorry?
A tourism agency, a tours and travel agency in Canada.
Okay. Oh, that's very good. I'd love to hear more about that. Go ahead.
Yes, and like I am in Genentech, I am going to Canada for my tours and travels diploma. And after that, after getting the PR and all, I will get into savings and some partnership with a person. And if I talk about my goal is achievable or not, my goal is totally achievable, and I'm sure that I will achieve it. And I can see myself in the age of 24 and 25, I am having a very good empire of tours and travel agency, and I'm having my connections and my many associations in the whole Canada.
Jagdad, that's amazing. That's a very, very clear and defined goal. That is, you've put so much in that, and I could tell that you have so much passion and admiration and motivation to see it through. No is not even an option. So that's beautiful. I love that example. Good luck. Very good luck. Brilliant. Anybody else like to share their SMART goal?
Yeah, can I?
Yeah, go ahead, Khushbu.
Okay, so my goal is I'm going to focus on getting a good college for the course I want to pursue, and that's BBA, Bachelor's in Business Administration in Finance and Investment Analysis. And yeah, it is measurable. I'm going to study every day for my entrance because I want to get into my dream college. And yeah, I need to prepare very hardly to get into that. And yeah, I'm going to create a learning time schedule, proper schedule to crack the exam and get a good rank to get into college. And yeah, it is realistic. Yeah, I can get into the college, and yeah, I can achieve that goal. But right now I'm a little bit scared, but yeah, I am sure that I'll achieve. And time oriented, I'm going to start. Actually, I have started like from previous month. I'm not like, it's not the first time I'm preparing it. I am doing my preparation since last month, and I'm going to end it by this month. This was my time period for getting in for preparing for my entrance exam.
That's fantastic, Khushbu. And I love the fact that you've already planned the go out before, if you know what I mean. You've already done bits of it already. So you seem pretty confident in seeing it through, and wish you all the best. That's absolutely great. That's a very great goal. I really, really love that. So we've got a travel agency. We've got education here. What other goals do we have? Do we have any life goals? Is there anybody out there that wants to learn how to drive or learn how to cook, or any other educational and job related goals that you have? Is there any particular career that you want to go towards? Is there any job that you really want to get? And how do you want to get that?
And ma'am, I have one or couple of things more. As my father owns a Sony authorized service center, I am very much, you can say I'm like a professional. I can fix things up, all the electronics things like phones, LED, LCDs, as I have seen my father since my childhood. And I am also interested in the share and trade market. And even I'm doing a course for that. I just believe that money must work for me even when I'm sleeping.
That's a very good motto. Very, very good. That's amazing. You're multi-skilled, Jagtar.
Yes, ma'am.
Very, very good. Very good. Anybody else would like to share? I would love to see more of your faces and hear your goals and be inspired. Anybody else would like to share? No? Robindi, do you have a goal?
Hello, ma'am. Anshu this side.
Oh, Anshu. Hello.
Hi. One second. I'll just turn on my camera. Okay. So, hi.
Good to see you.
So, hello. Same, yeah. So, basically, my goal is into like digital marketing, and I started to pursue my goal. But every day, I'm trying to learn new things, new skills related to the same. And like from the past, like 1.5 years during the pandemic, I have well-versed myself into the same. Like being a journalism student, I have tried to like come up with my goals, and I've like trying to come up with more new things. What is there into the same? So I'm just practicing into it, and like one day I would like love to like within 1 or 2 years to have my own digital marketing agency very soon.
Fantastic. And how long have you put a time scale to that? Do you know how long you think you will have to achieve that?
Like how long will it take me to achieve it, or like
Yes.
I would say like another 1 year.
Okay, yeah. 1 year will go by like that.
Yeah.
That's
because
really,
like
really
I have like done all the courses which was needed to the same, and I'm also like learning from different agencies and places where I work right now. So yeah.
These are brilliant goals. It brings a tear to my heart. But no, thank you so much, Anshu. That's really, really great goal, and a close one to me, because me being a marketer as well. So that's absolutely great. And thank you so much for sharing, and good luck with that. Anybody else? I've got some here in the chat. Priyanka mentioned here, I want to become a yoga trainer. Yeah, if you want to share more, Priyanka, that would be great. In terms of your yoga training career. If you want to share, feel free to go ahead. We'd be lovely to hear from you to find out more. I think Priyanka's shy, so we'll move on. I've got a couple here. I think Barbie mentioned, I want to become a player. What player, Barbie? In 25 will achieve the national as well. Barbie, feel free to explain what player you want to be. Tennis player, business player?
She's writing in the chat box. She wants to be a badminton player.
Oh, wow. Yes. Oh, yes. I remember. Yeah, you did mention badminton, didn't you, earlier? Oh, brilliant. Do you know how you want to achieve that? How long it will take? We'll give Priyanka a few minutes to write that. And Bob.
Okay. Hello.
Hi, Priyanka.
Yes, ma'am. My goal is to become a yoga trainer, as I see that this is a need of the hour, that everybody is, feeling stressed. So I want to remove the stress with the use of yoga. For this, I learn yoga from the YouTube. I practice it daily in the morning, and I think it helps to relieve the stress. People feel more energetic by doing the yoga. Okay, it is a long-term practice and a continuous practice. I will keep working on it. Okay, and that's all.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Priyanka. That sounds
Thank you.
amazing. I'd love to have that dedication to yoga, and I love the passion, and wish you all the best and good luck with that. That sounds really
Thank you
good.
so much.
Really, really good. Thank you so much. Barbie, if you want to share your goal as well, feel free to share that in terms of your, I think becoming a badminton player.
Yeah, ma'am. Hello.
Hi, Barbie.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you? You all right?
Yeah, I am fine.
Good, you're good. If you want to share about your goal to become a badminton player, feel free to share.
Not yet, because I am not ready, because since I have my surgery recently in March. So I am preparing for myself to get back on the court, and so starting with the basic training and starting with the yoga as well to get deep breath and stamina as well, because it's the most important for the potential and the stamina.
That's amazing, Barbie. And don't worry about not having, you know, the full aspect of the SMART goal completed, but that's really, really great. And I feel like yourself and Priyanka can tie in with the yoga side of things. Thank you so much for that. And thank you so much, everybody, for sharing. We've got now a few minutes left for questions and answers, really. So it's really down to yourselves. Ask away, and I'll try my best to answer before we finish off the session. So if anybody has any questions related to, for example, skills or productivity or the tips and advice provided earlier, or have any questions around SMART goals, feel free to ask away.
I want to ask about that 2-minute strategy you told, like some explanation I want of it. Actually, I didn't understood what you said about 2-minute strategy.
So the 2-minute rule is when you look at your list or to-do list, when you write it out, there's so many tasks in there, and you would need to segment it and categorize it. So you need to think about what are the goals that I can achieve quite quickly. What are the things on that list I could do quite quick? What are the things that I can do, but it will take a little bit of time? That's the second category. And the third category is I can do it, but it will take me quite a while and a chunk out of my day. So you kind of categorize it in those 3 categories. And then what the 2-minute rule is when you look at the those goals that are quick to do, that are straightforward to do, those things on your to-do list. So whether it's your task on the to-do list is to do a to-do list, that's going to be quite quick to achieve. So anything that can take 2 minutes or less on your to-do list as a task, those are the ones that we say are good to do straight away. Those are the tasks that you should try and do, because they are the easy wins, the quick wins to tackle that. I hope that's clarified what that 2-minute rule means. It just helps prioritize and categorize your to-do list.
Oh, ma'am, I want to ask a question.
Yes, Jutta.
Ma'am, what is the main basic definition of productivity?
Productivity is, well, there's been many definitions floating around, but for me, I would summarize it as that relationship between input and output. So an easy way, in and out. What you put in, what effort you put in, what time you put in, what dedication you put in to a task, what do you get on the other side? So that's the output, the out. So what you put in, for example, I don't know, I'm thinking of an example now. Spending 20 minutes cooking chapatis, for example. How much work and effort I put in, how much preparation I put into that work, the outcome being lovely tasting chapatis at the end of it and everybody enjoying it around the dinner table. So you've got to put something in, you've got to put effort in order to get something out of it. And to help that and motivate you from the in and out relationship, rewarding yourself. So for me, that's what productivity means. The more you put in, the more you'll get out. I hope that's helped. I've got a message, a direct message here in the chat from Amandeep. She mentioned, what if SMART goal is able to accomplish? I believe what you mean by that is once you've accomplished your goal, and correct me if I'm wrong, Amandeep, or feel free to unmute yourself and explain if you'd like to.
My question is, what if the SMART goal is not able to accomplish? We make the SMART goal, but won't able to accomplished. We planned it properly, but not achieved it.
Okay, so so you've set out your goal, but you don't think it's achievable. Is that correct? Or
yes.
Okay.
Last week, I think that is not achievable.
Do you mean an aspect of the SMART goal, or the basically the SMART goal in general? If you don't achieve it, what happens? Is
yes,
okay.
In general.
Thank you for sharing that. So if you don't achieve your SMART goal for whatever reason, you know, we all live and do different things in life and in work. If you don't achieve it, please don't get put off by it. You know, always perhaps start to keep a SMART goal diary. So at least you got a track, because you can always revisit it. And there's going to be times, even times where I haven't achieved a goal, and it does get you down a little bit. But try and always look back at your goals. Look back at what you have achieved and find out the gaps where you need to work on and improve, and maybe start another SMART goal on the back of that. So I definitely suggest keeping a SMART goal diary to track that. And you know what, if you feel like you cannot accomplish it, I think it's always great to then go back to your initial SMART goal and condense it, simplify it, take things out, put back things in, you know. And it's great because it's an ongoing tool. You can always go back to it. You can always refine it and improve on it and evaluate on it. So that's a good thing. And I definitely suggest having a diary for that. I hope that's answered your question, Amandeep. But always have in the back of your mind that you can achieve, you know, you can do it. And try and have a positive mindset to it. And I'm sure you'll get there. Any final questions? I think we're coming to an end now.
Ma'am, may I?
Barbie? Yep.
Yeah, just I already told you that I want to be a badminton player. So as my recently surgery, so how can I prepare mentally to get back the court?
Or to become a badminton player?
Yeah, so how I prepare mentally, prepare for the to get back the court, and
okay, thank you for that, Barbie. I think in a nutshell, to best prepare for that, or for any sport mentally, is to I guess start to think about setting firstly a SMART goal for that. And secondly, I would say start to surround yourself with people that are doing the similar thing that you want to achieve. So be with like-minded people. So go and visit badminton centers or sports centers where the sport is played at, and try and build a network of people that are doing the same thing as you, or trying to strive towards the same goal as you. They will be great support assets to you and your future as well. And I would say thirdly is what I said and I mentioned earlier, just try and have a positive outlook on it. Try to bring in positive affirmations, things like, I can do this, I will do this, and I'll see it through. And dissect your goals. So don't have a big goal that you think won't be achievable. Break it down in smaller chunks and always have a positive mindset and take it step by step.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
And Robert's question, the last one, how often do we have to evaluate these goals? And do you think it's best to have more than one goal? Brilliant question. To answer the first bit, I would say to try and evaluate it. I would say every 1 to 2 months, if you can. That's a great way to evaluate your goals, to revisit it. Some people do it daily, but some, depending on your priorities, I think we all live different lives. But I would say aim for 1 to 2 months. And in terms of having more than one goal, what I mentioned earlier as one of the tips, try and stay focused on having one goal first. Bearing in mind, some of you, this is probably the first time that you know about SMART goals now, and you're able to put it into practice. Start with having one goal first, using the SMART acronym, and take it step by step. You don't want to overburn yourself, and you want to stay focused. So remember, quality over quantity. Priyanka, how to manage personal and professional life for working women? Oh, there's many tips. There's many tips to manage that. But if you go back to the tips and advice slide, I think that will help you in more depth in that aspect. And I'll drop my contact details now, actually. So if you want to discuss that offline, I'd be happy to. And I'm hoping that's the last of the questions. And I just want to end it saying thank you. Thank you so much for listening and being patient and being here and learning more about skills and productivity as a last mental health session here. And that's my email address and my social media links there. And I've put a quote there from Walt Disney himself here, where he said, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Thank you so much to everybody, and thank you to Punjabi Chamber team for hosting this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sandeep, for such a delightful and insightful workshop. I'm sure participants have gained a lot from this session, and you can always get back to these sessions on our YouTube channel named Punjabi Chamber of Commerce. And do not forget to register yourself on www.punjabichamber.com for more such events. कहते हैं एक सफर खत्म हुआ और खत्म होकर दूसरा तैयार था. कहते हैं एक सफर खत्म हुआ और खत्म होकर दूसरा तैयार था. मैं मुसाफिर था, मेरे लबों पे कब इनकार था. Now with this, we conclude our mental health series workshop here. Dear participants, it has really been a fruitful journey with you all. Thank you for your attention and participation throughout the workshops. The actual motive behind these interactive workshops was to bring awareness and discuss combating steps against mental health issues that we all are facing. I'm glad we have made it this far. I'm grateful to the entire team of Punjabi Chamber of Commerce and Global Youth Squad experts for their constant guidance, support, and encouragement in all our efforts. Last but not the least, I thank you to my GYS leaders for their cooperation in making this workshop a resounding success. Thank you and Sat Shri Akal.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm closing this session for everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.